Aye, now then guys, September auction imminent, so we're just going to have a quick walk round. I'm going to pick out 3 cars that I'm particularly impressed with, and really 3 cars that appeal to me and 3 cars that I would love to own. First one being a Bentley T1, which we're going to go and have a quick look at now. Right, this is the Bentley T1 that I was talking about. I think it's absolutely tremendous, a beautiful, beautiful car. Unmolested it would appear, largely original inside. Beautiful paint job at some stage, but a long time back, which is, everyone knows now, that's what I like. I like a settled paint job, knowing that you're not going to come out next week or whatever and find a big hole appeared in the bottom of the door. This is it, this is what you get. What you see is what you get. 1 or 2 little tiny areas, a little bit of micro blister in there, nothing much at all. But generally speaking, an absolutely stunning vehicle. And the way to tell, in my opinion, is obviously its presentation, the way it sits, the way it looks, the straight panels and such like. But look at the sound deadening on there, all original, in lovely condition, engine bay, not messed about with, not tonsed up as we say. What you see there is what you get. That's how it is, that's how it should be. Interior's the same. Unusual colour, green. You know, green and green. You know, you would normally maybe think you might have parchment with a green exterior, but green and green, and it goes. It works well. I really, really like it. Carpets are original. A little bit of wear on the driver's side, but you can easily buy a new mat to match from Coverdale, as we know. Dashboard, headlining, seats in general, interior, all told is absolutely bang on. Really nice, just as it should be. And of course, as we all know, so important is the smell, which is why I'm going to get that window closed up in a minute, because we need to retain that smell, because that's everything. A little bit of work required on the veneer, on the driver's door capping, but so minor and very easily rectified. Generally speaking, absolutely superb. Everywhere you look is lovely. We can get to the boot. Beautiful in the boot there. I don't know if you can see in there. It's difficult now with the way you've got the camera, but anyway, there you are, toolkits there and such like. Even the boot smells right. Oh, it's lovely. It is just a lovely car. T1s and Shadow 1s are doing really well at the moment. They're picked up nicely. Bentley particularly being less ostentatious than a Rolls, so most people, myself included, would always go for a Bentley over and above a Rolls. T1 being the best model of its era. The year's right, the colour's right, the condition's right, needs to be bought. I love it myself, love to own it. We're now going to have a look at number 2, I think. Anyway, is that right? Number 2, which is the Cargo. Now, got a soft spot for Cargos because we still have one. We actually still own a Cargo transporter, which is worthless now, but it's still in the shed. So I love them to bits. We ran D series before the Cargo. When the Cargo come out, we thought, wow, what a modern looking vehicle the Cargo was compared to the old D. And it's proved so, because actually, if it came out last year, it wouldn't really look particularly old. It just shows you with Ford how their designers are quite amazing guys, really, because that vehicle it looks more like 10 years old. In actual fact, what is it, 1989? Look at the age of the thing. But the condition of it is unbelievable. 32 tonner, as you can see. The condition, you better come this way because you'll see. The condition is absolutely amazing. The history is incredible. It's done virtually no work at all. Something like 2,400 and some odd kilometres from new. The history's all here. Need to come and have a look at it. It's been it's like a simulator, if you like, something to do with the tachos. So only 2,000 miles. Look, from new, and condition speaks for itself. It's absolutely amazing. Now she's got a Cummins, a 250 Cummins in it, little turbo. So it'll have a bit of power. They go very well until you load them up. This is what we used to say with Cargos. You know, empty, they pull and drive absolutely lovely. You start putting a load on them and they're not so keen, which defeats the object with a commercial vehicle. But we love them. We absolutely love them. I'd love to put our old Cargo on the road just for nostalgia, but it's never going to happen, I don't suppose. But there you are. So this is one of my choices. The third one is over in the other unit, so we're going to have to walk over there. The car that I desired and admired when I was a lad, and when I was going to say when I was a lad, when we used to read motor books, as I did, when I was 13, 14, 15 or whatever, prior to driving, there were certain vehicles in there that really appealed. Probably the main one I'm thinking about it would be the Bond Equip, which we looked at when you're a 14-year-old lad or 13-year-old lad. You look at a Bond Equip and you see it as a small Aston Martin. We all wanted Aston Martin, of course. Everybody wanted Aston Martin of our age group, but they were stratosphere. They were just no chance of buying one of them. So you started to look for an alternative, and the alternative largely was a Bond Equip and the car that I'm going to show you now, which is in here. Come along. As it happens, that's a very rare car. And if I hadn't been picking the car that I have picked, then I would go for that, which is an Austin A70. Very rare. A good number of A40 Somersets about, but not A70s. On top of the job, powerful, really, really good car. Very impressed with these. Very impressed with that one. But it's not the car I picked. The car I picked is over here. I'll show you. Here it is. I think probably, I don't think many of you will know what it is. So I think it'll be a strange one, the Peerless. There it is. It's a Peerless GT. They were produced in Slough. Just done a little tiny bit of research, I haven't had time, but apparently there was around about 320 produced. I can't imagine there being very many left. It performed at Le Mans, not this particular car I'm sure, but in general they performed at Le Mans and done very well, I believe. And in 1958 or thereabouts, when this car was produced and came on the market, it must have been, and I've said it before, like a spaceship appearing, because most cars on the road in 1958, believe it or not, were mostly pre-war and just post-war. So in other words, we've got Morris 8s and Austin 10s still plentiful on the road in 1958. In fact, my dad were running a Morris 12 in 1958 when this was produced and hit the market. And I think you'll agree, everyone, it's just an amazing design car. It's based on a TR3. The running gear is all TR3. I haven't been underneath it, and I'm not intending to. I can only imagine it's a box section chassis, but the mechanics are all TR3. The interior, the dashboard and dials, etc., are all TR3. I would imagine the steering is TR3, brakes as well. So basically, I think they've taken a TR3 running gear. I don't know what they've done. I'd love to know whether they've actually bought a TR3, taken the body off, and put this body on. I don't know how they've done it. I would like to find out, and I will do, but it sits on TR2 running gear, not TR3, TR2, which is the same car as a TR3, basically. A GT car, as we've said, fixed head and what have you, but look at the style of it. Look at the fins. Now, the fins were all the rage in the 50s. You could actually buy fins of this sort of size and shape, generally shaped over like that. You could actually buy them as accessories and fit them on your car that didn't have fins. So this is so advanced, I think, designing in for its year, even down to like the wrap round rear windscreen. The interior is very much Aston Martin. It looks as though it's designed, well, it is most definitely designed on a DB24 Aston Martin. But the actual overall appearance of the car it's not 1958, it's more like 1968. And so I'm really taken with it. And as I say, when you would have seen this model or models like it in a used car showroom, if you think about it, in 1960, where you'd have sat some still, probably pre-war cars, or maybe Riley 1.5 RM, stuff like that, Morris Oxford and what have you. And then this thing sat in the middle of them, it must have been absolutely amazing. So that's why us kids in them days aspired to owning and driving one of these, and we never did.